is your vitamin M. This is your motivation for the week. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, we are in the house. And listen, it is February, and I want to start off by saying, it's my birthday month. It's my birthday month. Hey, it's my birthday month. I am excited to celebrate my birthday throughout the month of February. But listen, you are getting your vitamin M, your weekly recommended dose of motivation. And I could not be more excited about tonight. It is going to be on fire up in here. Let me tell you, listen, okay. We have our very first highlight feature, and I am excited about who this is. What better way to kick off the first slot, because this person is an integral part in my life. Listen, they are the reason why I exist. They are listen, this is my best friend. This is someone who supports my journey 100%. And I'm excited to be able to share my platform with her on tonight. So listen, I don't want to take any time. I want to use all of our minutes to make sure that we are able to dive in, to talk, to chat it up. Listen, we are going deep tonight. So I am pumped. I am ready. Listen, it is definitely an honor and a privilege for me to introduce someone who is very important once again and near and dear to my heart. And so I am going to read her bio very short. After shattering strongholds of rape and molestation, Tweedy Thomas founded God Is Ministries in DeSoto, Texas, where she currently serves as the senior pastor. She serves her community through the emergency food pantry Healing Hands. Tweedy is a gospel singer, a motivational speaker, overseer, mom, sister, friend, godmother. She is everything to everybody. She is also the overseer of Kingdom Connections Fellowship of Churches. She is known, and if you know her, she is known as the Tambourine Lady and the internet sensation, Tweedy Time. Help me to welcome, help me to welcome my special guest, Tweedy Thomas, AKA my mama. Hello. I am excited. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on in there. This is my mama, y'all. Wow. It's my mama, but she's gonna kill me. You can't, but I can. This is AKA also Honey Child. That's what I used to call her. I'm telling you, let's not even dive all the way into the foolishness that went on in childhood, but welcome, Mom.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here tonight.
I am so glad to have you. Introduce yourself to the people. Tell them about who you are, and hey, go for it.
Well, I am Pastor Tweedy Thomas. I have been in ministry for the last 59 years. I am the mother of 3 wonderful children. I am a singer, a pastor, author, you name it, and I do it. I am so excited to tell you about the book that God has poured into my spirit that I believe will change your life.
Okay, we are diving in quickly. She's already told you why we are here. So my first question, let's get it started. My first question is, how would you describe the journey? Just quick overview. We're gonna dive in deeper, but a quick overview. How would you describe the journey, the road to Dismass Me?
This journey started as a little girl fighting to stay alive in a dysfunctional, I'll say, home. The journey led from being a child, and anytime you have things going on in your life as a child, they tend to carry over into your adult life. And so this book came about because I needed to be free and know who I really was. And that the only way to do that is to take the mask off.
At the end, we're going to talk about the dismasking and what it looks like and what does it look like to dismask. But before we talk about what it looks like to dismask, let me tell you something, people. The book, if you listen, here's the book. We have our copies, and I'm going to tell you that the very first thing, this is a message that needs to be shared. And I know on Vitamin M, I always say we all have a story to share. You have to find your voice and your story and use that to equip and to help others and to also help yourself is what I heard you say.
Yes, ma'am, without a doubt. Until you can face the man in the mirror and face yourself, you'll never be real with everyone else.
Face the man
in the mirror.
Face the man in the mirror. I'm telling you, I opened up the book, and so I have my very first question. Why? Before I go there, why did you name the book "The Road to Dismask Me"? Like, what's behind the name of the book?
The Road to Dismask Me displays not just the mask that you wear, but the road that you go on to dismask. Because life is not easy, and it's not easy to face who you really are. So because we've covered up so many times, so many things, it's a process. So the road to dismask me is just that. It's a journey, day by day, step by step, mask by mask, all the pieces that you wear that you must release in order to know who you are.
We got a lot to talk about, so you got to go further into that releasing with the mask. But when you first opened up the book, the first thing that came to mind, and I get to call her Tweety because we're being professional on the show, but I'm gonna listen. I end up calling her Mom. Talk about when you first opened up the book. The first thing that hit me is the title, but not just the title. It says, "My Father's Mistress." What does that, because that hits hard to be able to read that. And so what does that mean?
Imagine a little girl trapped. No one will believe her if she tells them that she's having an affair with her father. And he becomes the master, which you feel like you have to obey. And now you become his mistress.
That is just the tip of the iceberg. My father's mistress. And you can't tell anyone.
It's a family secret.
It is a family secret. So we are going to go further, and we're gonna get all the way into the book after these messages.
Are you looking for a way to present your product, service, or event to a new audience? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Act now if you would like to be featured or advertise on the Vitamin M Show with Marshall Sterling. This is your chance to present your product, service, or event in over 200 million homes. Do not miss this opportunity. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to www.marshallsterling.com.
Welcome back. We are diving into talking about the road to dismask me with our special guest, our author, motivational speaker, Tweedy Thomas, aka my mama. I'm so excited about having her and talking about her journey and what has gotten her where she is to write a book about a situation, about dismasking, about being her father's mistress and what she experienced as a young child. And when we left, we were talking about her family secret and what that felt like and what it looked like. And so, listen, I'm letting her take over. We're gonna go back and forth, but she's gonna dive in and just Talk to us about what did that journey actually look like? What did it feel like to be in that situation? And talk us through some of the key points from her book.
Here's a part of what I wrote. The mask has to come off. I've questioned myself over and over. What's behind the mask? Will I recognize who I am? Will I even like me? Because when you wear a mask for so long, it becomes so much a part of you until sometimes you don't even know the real you. It hurts, it's painful, but you're so accustomed to the pain, so you just continue to go on. And one day you wake up and realize the mask must come off. Let me share with you the mask. Here's just a little bit. The mask you create is a shield to keep people from seeing what's truly there. So it's like waking up in the morning, you put on your primer, you put on your eyeshadow. All of those things that I was putting on were things that would hide my hurt. Church girl, singer, singing in the choir, cheerleader, but yet have to go home to a dysfunctional home. So when I come out, I wear the mask. How many of us really can face the truth and say, right now, I'm wearing a mask?
But so many of us wear a mask though. We put a mask on because we are wanting to hide something. But are you truly, when you put the mask on to hide what was going on in your home though, were you really hiding from it?
Absolutely not. It's reality, it's happening. But you're faking it. You're becoming a pretender. And it grows up in your life and you learn how to just continue to pretend. And you never face truth. Because you've pretended. You never face the real you. You never face what's really going on. And that also leads into other things in your life. You learn to pretend. You fake it till you make it. Why fake it when you could just be real? But you've worn a mask, so you don't know how. Until you dismask. You don't know how to face the real you. You don't even know what's really in you.
There was a part that goes to that I do think that we wear a mask because we don't know what's behind the mask. So when you begin to take your mask off, what did you find though? What did you discover about yourself?
Sometimes you find you don't like you. Sometimes you find, here's the key. Once your mask come off, you see other people's masks. You realize who's been faking with you all this time. And the reason why you have this is because you got to remember, most of the time when I was coming up, this was mom's new word. What goes on in our house stays in our house. That's how the mask comes on. Now, how do you take that mask off? Because mama done taught you it stays in the house. But what happens when loving you hurts me?
Ooh, what happens when loving? Listen, let's talk about that. What do you mean by that, when loving you hurts me?
Because I can love you so much that I refuse to be real with myself or with you. So I allow you to keep hurting me. We allow people to hurt us that we love.
That's it.
We feel committed to it. We feel obligated. That's a mask.
That's a mask.
We won't face the truth and say, that hurts me, and I don't have to take it.
I do know that is true, and that is very true. We do that. We wear a mask. But I wonder, to me, where does that come from that we feel the need to do that, to love somebody more than I love myself? And I believe that's a reteaching and training of our minds, that I don't have to love you more than I love me, especially when loving you begins to hurt me. And I can't be the real me.
That's a danger. And a lot of us are in a danger zone because we won't face. We allow ourselves to be hurt because we think that as long as I play the underdog, as long as I don't say anything, no, I'm going to keep hurting you if you don't tell me it hurts. Tell me it hurts. Then you can decide. I get to decide whether you're hurting me on purpose or by accident. Is it intentional?
How long did the molestation, like how long did it happen in your, like how long did this go on in your house?
Wow, 10 years, from 6 to 16.
So for 10
long years.
What's going through your mind? What are you thinking at these moments? What are you, like how are you, because how are you moving in that situation?
I'm angry. I'm angry with my mother. I'm angry with the abuser. I'm angry with myself. I'm angry with God. Because I'm trying to figure out why he allowed me to have to endure this, not realizing where my future was going to be. Because I had a story to tell. And the only way I can tell the story is that I had to have experienced what I went through. But at the time, that it doesn't feel good. But I'm angry. I'm confused. I am distant because I don't hang out with other girls because I don't want what happened to me to happen to them. I don't know. So to keep the family secret, I keep the mask. I go to church, I worship, I smile, I sing, and I go home afraid. And now I had to learn how to do it afraid. Take the mask off.
One of the things that I want you to talk about is, it says, why didn't I scream? You asked, I couldn't. Fear, and this is what I want to, fear has a way of taking even your small voice of cry out of you or away. I'm sorry. Fear has a way of taking even your small voice of crying out away. So talk about that little part. Like fear has a way of.
Sometimes we're so afraid of hurting. I was afraid of hurting my mother. I was afraid of hurting my family. So it was easier to keep the secret than it was to hurt them. So fear of losing my friends. Because you got to remember, usually the person that's hurting you has convinced you that nobody will believe you, that nobody will help you. And so you stay locked up within yourself until fear takes your voice away. And now
and you don't have that.
You don't have the confidence to stand.
To stand and to be able to talk.
And what you want to do is attach yourself to something. This is what this book is about. Allowing somebody to read this book and say, if she can have a voice and speak out, so can I. It's time for me to take my mask off.
It's time for me to take my
mask.
This mask. It's time for us. If you're listening, it is time for us to take our mask off so that we can be our true, real self and be all that we have been called to do. Listen, we have more to dive into after these messages.
Listen here.
Do you feel misunderstood in your relationship? Are you and your partner missing one another when you talk?
Have you ever wondered why your partner feels the way they do? If you are ready to transform communication in your relationship, join Raffinay Wilson, licensed professional counselor, for this free virtual workshop Thursday, February 9th at 7:30 p.m. Central.
With over 10 years of experience supporting couples, families, and individuals, Raffinay is passionate about equipping you with proven strategies for more harmonious communication with your partner.
Whether you are dating, engaged, married, or in a relationship, you will walk away with practical techniques that can be implemented immediately and a new approach to communication.
Register now for this free virtual workshop by visiting www.raffinaywilson.com/listen here.
It is possible to bridge the gap if you choose to listen. This workshop is not therapy and should not serve as a replacement for professional therapy services.
The road to dismask me. It is such an interesting and very relevant topic. Like, what does it look like to dismask me? We've talked to our author on tonight, and she has shared her story with us. Listen, we're going to go just a little bit further. I want her to read like I read the book, and if you listen, we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna talk about the other stuff later. But I need her to read a section of this book because there's more to get into.
Where do you go when you feel like there's no one to turn to? I felt as though no one cared enough to seek God concerning me. Where are the prophets? Can't anyone see behind the mask? Can anyone see my soul and my heart, what it really looks like?
There's a lot of powerful parts that you wrote in the book, but that is so powerful because it says, where do you go when you feel like there's no one to turn to? So it's about a feeling. So you felt like that there was nobody that you could talk to. So where do you turn to when there's no one, when you feel like there's no one to go to? What do you do in that situation?
That's where the mask comes in. And you create this person that you feel like you can share with. Now you have to really stop and go to God. Go to a higher power and say, I need help. Because nobody will believe me. Nobody will trust me. At least that's how you feel. But I have a theory. My feelings is not my friend.
One of the things that I want you to share with the people briefly is though, but what made you feel like that? Because I know something that they may not know, and you're gonna have to read the book, but just a quick, when you did go to say something, what happened though?
The first time I confronted, to even share, I got a whooping. I got in trouble because I was told, you should have told me before now, but I'm afraid. And sometimes it also leads to, sometimes parents, we really need to stop and listen to what our children are saying. Because sometimes people are crying out. They're acting out. And they're acting out. There's something behind that. And we have to stop and find out what's behind that mask. And I just needed somebody in the church to be able to see that I was hurting.
And that's the thing about it, is that even we sit in church and we talk and we act like that we have it together, but we don't. And even in the word, in anything that you're connected to, we talk, but are you really connected to people? Are you really connected to your neighbors? Do you really know what they're going through? Because people are at times giving you a signal, and all they want you to do is see that there's something going on.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Sometimes I just need a hug. I need an encouraging word. I need somebody to stop and say, you know, you're smiling, but I feel the hurt. I'm not making it up, but get to know me enough to know that there's something there behind the smile that's not really the smile.
So listen, I want you to quickly, because people, listen, we all right. She has so much, listen, she got so much going on in this book. I want you to jump over to the end. What does it look like to dismask? Give me a key. If I'm in this situation or any situation, because I can put a mask on in lots of situations and pretend to be somebody else. But give me one key takeaway to dismask, because you got to read the other ones in the book. So come on, Mom.
You can't always fix the future or your past. You can't fix your past, but you can outlive it.
You can, hey.
You may not be able to fix it, but you can outlive it.
So I may not be able to fix it, but I can always
keep going. I can outlive it.
That's what
I shall live and not die.
And declare the works. I shall live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. Listen, this has been such a powerful topic to talk about. The road to dismask me goes right along with shine, baby, shine, being who you are. Okay, Mama, you got the last of it. You take us on out. Tell us how to find you on social media, how to purchase your book.
Listen, you can go to social media. I'm there on Facebook under The Road to Dismask Me, or you can look up Tweedy Thomas. I'll see you there. Listen, you can purchase your book. When you purchase a book, you're going to get a beautiful little bag to go with it. Listen, it's gonna bless you and do you good. I promise you. You'll take the mask off.
Listen, if you are not following this, if you are not following Apostle Tweedy Thomas on Facebook, I need you to do so. I need you to purchase your book. Anything else?
I want to give you this and tell you, I want to thank you for being a part of your show. Take the mask off, the road to dismask me.
The road to dismask me. Listen, this has been your Vitamin M. I want to thank my mom for coming on the show. Thank you so much. It has been a blessing. Listen, I love you, and we will see you next week.
Join us next week to get your weekly dose of Vitamin M. Purchase The Road to Dismask Me today. Here's what people are saying.
I love this book. It was an easy read and it made me reflect on my life as I turned the pages. I realized I was hindering my own progress by not forgiving people who wronged me. I will no longer allow them to hold me captive. I'm living free. Thank you for sharing your journey.
Book Marshall for your next event.
Why are you not here? Oh my God, it's post-pandemic and we have a game plan that will cause the trajectory of our life, our financial status, and our legacy that we're leaving to go to a place that we've never been before. I am ready to catapult myself in the right direction. I've been good, but now I'm about to be great with the Sterling Experience. Come join us.
Advertise with us. Scan here to set up your discovery call. Let's grow together. Please visit our website at www.marshallsterling.com.